Hi guys, Evans here and welcome to this video. So in this video guys, I'm going to be looking at the IGCSE ICT paper 2-1 from the February-March 2023 series. We're going to look at a section on document production, and then in consequent videos we'll look at databases and presentations. So without wasting much of our time, let's go straight into what we're supposed to do today. So you have been supplied with the following source files, and these are the files that you have. So just counter check that the files that you have here are actually what you have in your work area. So make sure that all the files that listed here, all of them are there. If not, then just put up your hand and ask the examiner that you have missing some files. Okay. So task 1, evidence document. So basically we're going to prepare the evidence document for use. And basically task 1 is just asking you to do two things. One, it's asking you to add your candidate details in the header or footer of your document, and then it's also asking you to save the document with the appropriate file name. Okay, so open the file, m23 evidence.rtf. Make sure that your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of this document. Save this document, this evidence document, in your work area as m23 evidence followed by your candidate number. For example, m23 evidence quadruple nine. So you would need to place screenshots in this document of the evidence that are instructed or that you're instructed to produce. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the evidence document. So I'll just go here, double click on this one, open it with the default package, and enable editing, and then just close up this, and then now we can go ahead and just prepare our evidence document. So we're told to add our candidate details either in the header or footer. So just go ahead. I'll add mine in the header. So I'll just use blank 3 columns. It's much easier because you have got placeholders in there, just to help you align your candidate details. Okay, AE 361 and then 0001. Okay, then go ahead and save this document with the appropriate file name, which is the file name that you've been given there. So I'll change the format to Word document because it's going to contain screenshots. So and then go to browse, and inside this I'll just save this as not 999. I'll put my candidate number at the end there and save as m23 evidence 0001. Okay, and say save and accept to upgrade. Okay, so this step is done. So let's go to the next step. So task 2, document. So you're going to produce a report for Tower Education about STEM subjects. The company uses a corporate house style for all their documents. Paragraph style must be created and applied as instructed, and the body text style has already been applied to the whole document. You must not amend this style. So in other words, they're asking you that there's a style that has been created and it has already been applied to the document. Don't change anything or modify anything about that style. Okay, so step number 1, using suitable software, open the file m23 stem.rtf. So let's go ahead and open stem.rtf. So the file in question is this one. So just double click and open it. As usual, enable editing. Okay, and I'm just going to close up this one. So this is the file. They have already applied the body style. So if you click there or select any of the text in the body text, you should see that it says here on the top body, which means body style is the one which is applied. If you try to apply anything else, then it's going to change that, and the whole document is going to be corrupted, and you'll lose marks. Okay, so don't change that. Let it be at body. So now let's go back to the question paper, and so the page setup is set to A4, landscape orientation with 2 centimeters margin. Do not make any changes to these settings. Again, we are used often to being told set the page to A4, set the orientation to landscape, set 2 centimeter gap in the margin and stuff like that. But sometimes these will be set for you and you do not need to do anything about that. So save the document in a work area with the file name STEM news. Okay, so just go ahead and do that. So everything is in lowercase, so just save it as STEM news, everything in lowercase. So come here and then go to file, save as, and then browse to the location where the file is supposed to be and just put STEM news. And then you're supposed to save it in the format of the software that you are using. So just verify that. Okay, so save the document in work area and make sure it is saved in the format of the software that you are using. Okay, so which means save it as a document and not as RTF. So you change it from RTF and save it as a Word document and say okay and okay. All right, so it is saved as STEM news, and then we go back to our web. Place in your evidence document a screenshot to show that this file has been saved. Make sure that there is evidence of the file type. Again, that's important. So go to your work area. You need to show evidence that this file has been saved. I usually just like to select it like that so that the examiner can know that this is the area of interest. But it's not necessary. But just make sure that you have the type format here, or the type field here. If you do not have it, just right click and then select type from the drop down thing. If you don't have it here, again just go to more and then find type on the list of items here. So if you just scroll down to the T's, you'll find type somewhere around. Okay, so I can't see because it's already selected. That's why you can't see it on the list here. Whatever you select is actually removed from this list. But otherwise, it's supposed to appear here as type, file type. Okay. So the other thing that you should be cautious about is that the field size must be expanded to allow the file types to be fully visible. So just double click around here. So take your cursor, when you see a plus sign like that, then double click and it will expand that column, and you should be able to see that. Other than that, you can just drag around this like that, and you should also see the file sizes, or rather the field names, not the field names, but the file types are fully visible. All right, so let's take a screenshot to show that this is the file in question. So I'm going to use my snipping tool, but again, you can use any software that you have, which is going to allow you to pick up the file names or the folder where you've saved this information. So mine is that. Just say copy, and then let's go into our evidence document. It's supposed to be this one, and then we'll place that as part of evidence 1. So I'm just gonna paste it like that. It looks so big, so I'm just gonna resize it a little bit. That's too fine. The main interest that the examiner wants to see is that you have this file STEM news, and then it is saved in your work area together with other files. That's how you're going to get the 1 mark in this step. Okay. So let's go to step number 2. Place in the footer of the STEM news document an automated page number left aligned, and then your name, center number, and contact number right aligned. Okay. So we go here, and then I'll go to insert, and then in the footer. So I'll go to footer. I'll insert a blank 3 columns, and then left aligned. We need to set automated page number. So I'm going to, you can go to quick parts. Okay, so just go to insert, and then go to quick parts field, and then look for page. You can even hit P on your keyboard to find page. Select any of these pages. Probably the first one is ideal. Just say okay, and you'll see the page is inserted left aligned. And then on the right side, we're going to insert our details. Chikasa Evans, ZM, not ZM, I'm no longer in ZM, AE361, and then let's put 0001. And then here, this is called a placeholder. If you're not going to use this part, then you just have to remove this part. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this part so that we don't have any text. It looks so unprofessional if you leave this text here, like the way it was like this. In fact, you won't get this mark for inserting the details if you don't if you don't remove this, because they will tell you that the text you don't have any placeholder. So just delete this, and then let's go back to the question paper. So I'm done with the footer, and then just make sure that all the alignment match the page margin, and you don't have to worry about this if you have inserted the blank 3 column, the one that I mentioned that you're supposed to insert the blank 3 columns. So if you look at this one, this blank 3 columns takes care of the alignment for you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So no other text is included in the footer area. Again, this is the thing that I was talking about, that the placeholders must be removed and that the footer is displayed on all pages. I mean, you don't have to worry if you've used the footer. So that is done, that step. So let's go to step number 3. Create and store the following styles, basing each on the default or normal paragraph style. So again, guys, here you have to be very careful that every paragraph style that you are creating or every style that you are creating is actually based on either the normal or the default style. It depends with what software application you're using. In some cases, it's called the normal, and in other cases, it's called the default. So just take into account that. If you're using other packages, you might see default. If you're using other packages, you might see normal. Okay. So these are the house styles that we're supposed to create, and these are the style names, and these are the attributes of each house style. And then we are supposed to just make these property changes. So I'm going to go here. The first one that we're going to create is ST subhead. Now take note of the exact name that you have here. It's ST subhead, ST capital S and T, and then a hyphen, and then subhead is just everything is lowercase. So just come here, and then I'm going to go to home, and then I want to create a new style. So you can either come here and then create a new style like that, okay? Or you can just come here and then create a new style here. So it's up to you whether you want to create it that way. It's basically up to you. So I'm going to just click on create style. Either way, it will lead me to this, or you can click here and it will open up this. So regardless of whether you use that one, you just need to modify. Now I need to clarify this, guys, because sometimes students will tend to answer, but I don't have the same view as you are having. Why is it that when I click here I have this view, and then when I come here and I click here I have a different view? So you think you're doing something that is wrong. No, you're not. So you basically just give it your name. It is ST subhead. So sub is small letter, so subhead, like that. And then just click on modify, and you'll see the very window that you saw. If you had clicked here, the very window will come up. And then just make sure that the style is based on not the footer. Right now it's saying that the style is based on the footer because I have my footer already opened and I didn't close it. So I'm just gonna say the style is gonna be based on something different. Let's go back, and it should be based on the normal. So I would say base it on the normal, and then let's go ahead and add the attributes that we've been shown here. So it's supposed to be a sans serif font, and it's supposed to be font 14 and center aligned. Let's do this, and then we'll come back and pick up other attributes. So it's supposed to be a sans serif font. So Arial is sans serif font, and it's supposed to be 14, and then it's supposed to be center aligned. So center aligned is this one here. Don't confuse it with this one. This one has to do with line spacing, and then this one has to do with alignment. Okay, if you're not comfortable, you can just come format and then paragraph, and then make your alignment centered like that. Okay, and then space before and space after we can change. Check, make sure that everything is all capital letters and it's supposed to be bold, and then line spacing is single, space after is 0, rather space before is 0 and space after is 9. So I can change the space after here. So space after is 9, and then space before is 0. Line spacing is supposed to be single, and then the only thing is that we're supposed to set now the all caps, and it's supposed to be actually bold. Okay, so I'm going to make it bold like that, and then for the caps I'm going to go to format and go to font, and then under font select this as all caps. Okay, so just count the check, make sure that you have everything as you're supposed to have it. So it is sans serif font, Arial is fine, and then we go for font size is 14, and alignment we said it's center. It's supposed to be all capitals and bold, and then it's a single line spacing, and then 0 space before and 9 space or 9 points after. Okay, So that is done, and just say okay. So that text has been set. Now you have to be very careful because you're creating a style and your footer is already, your footer is already, um, so if you click here, notice that it affects the footer. So you just need to remove that, okay? Just undo, Control Z, and then it removes the formatting that was there on the footer. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then the footer is going to have the formatting of the subheadings, which is not good. The document will not look professional. So just undo, Control Z, and then it removes that, but it maintains your subheading title there. Okay, so I'm just gonna double click and remove or close the footer, and then we'll go ahead and start creating the other paragraph style. Take note that I've put the case at the start here so that whatever style I create, it can affect this, but I'll still revert back to ST body later on, so that I don't tamper with the overall style that has been applied. Okay, so let's go here. Now let's go create the ST table. So ST table is supposed to be a serif font with 11 and it's left aligned. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go here. This is going to be ST table, and then I'm going to say modify, and then it's going to be based on normal, and then it's going to be a serif font. So I'll go for Times New Roman. It's supposed to be 11. So, and then it's supposed to be left aligned. So it's already left aligned. So you can see from here. If you're not comfortable, you just go to paragraph, and then you'll see that it is left aligned here, and say okay. And then let's pick up another one. So we're done with this one, done with this one. It's supposed to be italic, single space, and then 0 and 0 for space before and space after respectively. So I'm going to go to it's supposed to be italic, okay, and then the other formattings is supposed to be single line spacing, and then it's supposed to be 0 space before. So just set this to 0, and it's supposed to be like that, and set this to be okay and okay. So notice that it affects already this, you need to revert back to body. So just put body there, highlight it like that, and then put body. All right, so let's go to the next one. It's supposed to be ST bullet, and it's a serif font as well, 11, and it's left aligned. So pretty much the same as the other one. So I'm going to go to this one here and create a style, and then I'm going to call this style as ST bullet, and then click on modify, and then base it on the normal, and then it's supposed to be left aligned, which is it is already, and it's supposed to be 11. And then let's go ahead and look at these other attributes. So the other attributes is that well, this is supposed to be a serif font. So just before we move on, let's set this as a serif font, Times New Roman, and then let's go ahead now and look at that. It's supposed to be square shaped bullet aligned to the left of the margin. So again, when they say aligned to the left of the margin, so it means that it should be aligned with the margin. So I'm going to go to this one and go to paragraph, and then it's already aligned to the left, but you have to be very careful because the moment you select bullets, it's going to push the text a little bit inside. So I'm just going to say okay, and then go to border or numbering or something like that, and supposed to be numbering, and then we're supposed to go to bullets and then select square bullets here, and then say okay. And then notice that it has pushed the square bullets a little bit inside, but what you want is that the square bullets should be aligned with the margin. Okay, so go back to format and then go to paragraph, and then instead of having this 0.63 and hanging by this, I'm just gonna set this to none, and then set this to 0 as well. Okay, so that it is aligned straight with the other text. Okay, and then just say okay, and then now you can see that the text is aligned with the other text like that. Okay, so that's fine. The next thing that we are supposed to look at is it's 0 space and 0 space points before and 0 space after. So I'm just gonna come here, just where I'm gonna come here and then set this to let's go to format and then paragraph, and then set this to single spacing, and then set it to 0 space, like that. Okay, so somebody would ask, but why did we change the hanging to none? So what hanging does is that the next line is going to start a little bit indented, and we're not so much interested in that. It depends also with the kind of list of bullet list that you have. I can see mine from here. Like you can see, they're just short phrases here at the bottom, and they are not going to be long sentences, which might need to be pushed a little bit further inside at the start of the second line. So just leave it as it is. I put hanging as none for a purpose, because I don't need to have that there. Note that if you put it back there, it's going to cause you to lose marks. No, not at all. You still gain your full marks if you did that. So just say okay, and then say okay with this one as well, and then you have your bullet list like that. Okay, so I don't know why I moved this, so I'm just gonna that. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I have my bullets and my subhead and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna come back here, and then I've been told to take a screenshot to show that I have defined the settings for the ST subhead style, and make sure that there's evidence that you have based this on the default or normal paragraph style, and place this in your evidence document. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and then get this subhead and then modify it, and then I'm just gonna take a screenshot to show that. Now this window is enough to show the examiner that you've set all the evidence that you want, because at the bottom here the examiner can see all the attributes that you have applied, and then they will be able to reward you marks based on this. But if you feel this is not enough, it's not a crime to also show the paragraph window side by side with this one, and then you can take a screenshot of this, because the information that you have here is the same information that you have here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up this one, it's fine. So I'm just gonna go to my snipping tool, and then take a new window snip, and then get this one. Okay, this is my evidence document. This is gonna be pasted in my evidence document, and I'll go just say okay, and then just go to here, and then I'm gonna paste it in evidence number 2 like that, and then I'm gonna just resize this a little bit. That's fine. Okay, all right, so this is done. Let's go to the next step. So display the style names created in step 3 as a list in the style manager or organizer. So again, this is very important. So we're going to create or to open the style manager. The style manager basically just shows you the different styles that you have in your document, those that have been applied to your document, even those that have not yet been applied, but it just shows you which styles are existing in your document. So if you come here to open the style manager, just click down here, and then this is your style manager. You can resize it if you've got multiple styles, and sometimes it can be like this and you'll not be able to see all the styles. If you do this, the examiner is not going to give you marks, because they cannot guess that you created all the styles. So you need to resize this so that all the styles are fully visible, and then you can take a window snip of this and then put it in your evidence document. So I'm gonna go here, and then I'll probably change my snipping to kind of a window snip, and then just say new, and then where's my style manager? It just ran away. Okay, I'm gonna just close this a little bit and then bring back my style manager. As I was playing around with this, I think my style manager kind of it disappeared, and you can see in the background that it is actually disappearing. Okay, so okay, let's try to use a rectangle snip, and then I'm just gonna delay it for 5 seconds so that when I take my my style manager thing, it is actually there. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's now take a style thing. Just take this window, and that is evidence enough. Just copy it and then paste it in here. So we're pasting it in the evidence document. So just come here and paste it in step number 3 or evidence number 3. Resize it a little bit so that it can fit here, This should be fine. I'm gonna push step number 5 to the next page. I just don't want all the information to be cluttered on one page. It just looks more neat, and it's easy for the examiner to see my evidence and give me marks that I so much deserve. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next steps. So I'm done with this step, guys. It's much easy, very straightforward for you to do. So let's go to step number 5. The style ST title has already been created. Okay, so we have an existing title called ST title, and it has been stored. So which means if we go to the style manager, we should be able to see the ST title. We're going to modify this title so that only the following formatting is applied. While the name of the style is going to maintain as ST title, it's going to be a sans serif font, 36 points high, and it's going to be center aligned, bold and underlined, and single and 0 this side. So let's go ahead and make some of these changes. We'll come back here and look at that. So ST title is this one. So I'll select it, okay? And notice when I select it that it kind of affects this text here. So just be careful, this text is not part of the title. So I'm just gonna right click and modify this, and then go ahead and change the thing to sans serif. So I'll put Arial and change it to 36. So I'll scroll down and change it to 36, and then it's supposed to be center aligned. So make it center aligned and bold and underlined. So center is this one, bold is this one, and then it should be underlined as well. I'm going to remove the italic part. It's not supposed to be there because under the emphasis we've been told that italic is not the enhancement feature here. Set it to 0 at 0 for space before and space after, and set the line spacing to single. So come here and then go to format and then go to paragraph and then set this to 0, and then the space before and after set them to 0 as well. So the alignment is supposed to be thin. I see the alignment here is right. It's actually supposed to be center, so I'm going to set the alignment to centered like that and say okay, and say okay. So this is that, and once I've modified this, I'm just going to undo this one and undo this one. Okay, so if I just check my title, okay, so just a second, my title is actually messed up a little bit. So yeah, so now it's fine. So I'm gonna set this back to body and like that. Okay, yeah. So don't undo the title, because I mean the when you make adjustments to your style, don't use undo, because then you remove the modifications that you've made to your style. So the best that you can do is just highlight the text back and send it back to the style that it was previously, other than using undo, because if you use undo, it will remove all the formattings that you have modified on the style. So let's come back here, and then we're going to apply this style to the text. Tawara Schools STEM development. So let's come here. Tawara Schools STEM development is this one, and we're going to apply the title style. So just come here and apply the title style, which is this one. Okay, so that looks cool. And then let's go back here. Place in your videos document a screenshot of the style setting for the ST title to show that the changes, to show the changes that you have made. Okay, so let's go here and let's go, the ST title is this one. I'm gonna go here and modify it, and then I'm gonna just take the screenshot to show the changes that I've made. Now all the changes can be seen from here, but again, if you're like me, somebody who is they call them what? They are perfectionists. They want everything to be done to the detail, you know. So you come to paragraph style and then show these two windows. But even just showing this one single window will still show the examiner that you've actually performed all the steps that are required. But then let's leave this to the perfectionists and let them do the work. Now I don't like the 5 seconds delay that I've made on my snipping tool. I like it when it is just snap, like fast. But there are times like when you need that delay, because a window is closing as soon as you pull up this snipping tool. If a window closes, then you might need to delay the snipping tool so that you can prepare that window before the snipping tool actually comes into play. So come here, and I'm gonna paste this as evidence number 4 and paste it here, and just resize this a little bit, just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next step. So we're done with this step. So below the title, add the subtitle, Innovations in Science Education. Take note of the uppercase letter. The first letter of each word is uppercase except for in. Everything must be typed accurately, because the mark is actually awarded for accurately typing this title or subtitle. And accurately typing it, the subtitle, means that it must be consistent with what you have there. So I'm gonna go here. So innovation in science education, just come here and I'm gonna put my cursor there, hit enter key, and then just type there, innovations in science education. Okay, and then so you're supposed to apply, so this is that, you're supposed to apply the ST subtitle, which was already created. Okay, and we're supposed to apply this to this that we have created here. So I'm going to go to ST subtitle. So select this one and then apply the ST subtitle. Now again, when you apply the subtitle, just make sure that you select it just up to there, and then go ahead and apply the subtitle in there. So ST subtitle, I don't know if I can see it. Let's go to the style manager, and subtitle is this one. Okay, all right, and that's fine. So the next thing that we need to create, so if you come here, is apply the ST bullet style to the text, from working in teams to developing own solutions. So come here, working in teams is supposed to be here, and then developing your own solutions is supposed to be here. So just select this up to there, and let's apply the bullets. So again, I'm gonna go to style manager and pick up the bullets like that. That's fine. And then next I'm going to I'll push the style manager here in case I need to use it again. And then next I'm going to go back to the question paper, and step 7 says identify the 7 subheadings in the document and apply the subhead style to each one of them. So they have told you that there are 7, so you need to a subhead is going to be a sentence that exists, or a short phrase that exists on its own, like that one, and then like this one. So that's second one, and integrated stem for all, that's the third one, and I'm going to pick up another one somewhere. This is the fourth one, and then this is the fifth one, and then I'll pick up another one. I think I should have another one at some point. I think this should be the sixth one, and I should have the last subhead, which could be this one here. Okay, and I'm gonna apply the subhead to this, so it is like that. Okay, so all of them, I think there are 7 of them that I've actually selected. Okay, the next step asks you to change the layout of the page so that the subheading, why is a STEM approach to learning important? So this, from this subheading, all the following text, okay, are displayed into two columns of equal width with a 1 centimeter space between them. Okay, so again, this is important. So I'm going to go from why is a STEM approach to learning important? So from this subheading, so let's go here. Why is a STEM approach important? So from this subheading, so including the subheading, you need to select it like that. Okay, so because they told you it is from this text, they didn't say after this text. If they have said after this text, then you should have selected from here. But if you go back to the question, it says that so that the layout, change the layout of the page so that the subheading, why is this thing is important, and all the following text is displayed in 2 equal columns. So what we're going to do now is to select the text from here all the way to the end, like that, and then we're going to go to layout and change the column and more columns, and then split this into 2 columns. Make sure that the spacing is 1 centimeter in between, and set it like that, like this. Okay, all right, so the next step, we are supposed to locate the table and insert a new row above the row chemistry. Okay, so enter the following data. So we're going to enter biology 50 and 40. So just above chemistry, we're going to insert another row. So if you scroll down here, you have your table here. Chemistry is here. So if you click inside chemistry, you should see a plus sign in between here. So that just means that insert a row above there. So just say that, and then this one is going to be biology. And then the marks, I think, were 50 and 40. So just go ahead and put in here 50, and then there put 40. Then let's go back to the next step. Merge the cells and center align the text in the first row of the table. So go ahead and do that. The first row of the table is this one. Right click and then merge the cells and then center align them. So go to home and then center align them like that. Then next step, apply the ST table to rows 2 to 9 of the table. Make sure that no data is wrapped within the table. All grid lines are displayed when printed, and all borders and data fit within the column width. And then there is a 6-point space after the table. So go ahead and do just that. So we're going to apply from row 2. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is to the very end of the table, and everything here should be applied with the table. So the table is this one. Okay, and then also make sure that there's no text wrapping. So right now all the text looks good, there's no wrapping. And the next thing that you just need to do is to make sure that after the table there is some space, 6-point space. Now there's the one way that you can do this is to put your cursor at the start of the next paragraph and put space before this paragraph to 6. So go ahead and just go to paragraph and then space before, just put 6 like that and say okay. And now you can see that there's some little bit of some space after the table. Okay, so that's step number 13. And then step 14, step 14 says import the image m23scientist.jpg and place it in the paragraph beginning. Okay, beginning, so which means beginning at the start of the paragraph with the gender disparity. Okay, something like that. So let's go ahead here and find a paragraph that starts with will the gender disparity or something like that. I think it's somewhere here. So I'm gonna put at the start of this paragraph, at the beginning there, I'm gonna go to insert and then from this device, insert picture from this device, and then go ahead and browse the picture. So mine is already in this same location where the photo is. So I'm just gonna go to insert, select it and then insert. So this picture is here, but then let's perform some formatting on the picture. Reflect the image so that the laboratory flask is on the right. So let's go ahead and reflect this image. To reflect it, you need to come here. This is rotating objects. Then come here and then flip horizontal like that. That is reflection. Okay, then next we're going to go to format the image so that it is resized to a height of 2 centimeters with the aspect ratio maintained. So again, let's format it to 2 centimeters. So right click and go to size and position, and then make sure that it is the height that is being modified, not the width. So the height should be modified to 2 centimeters. So put the height to 2 centimeters. But before you click OK, make sure that the aspect ratio is locked here, because if you don't do that, it's going to distort your image. Okay, so that is that. So right now the image is set like this, so it looks cool. But just in case maybe somebody is learning this for the very first time and they don't know what it means to have the image distorted, I'm just gonna undo this and then show you learning by doing. It's important that you see why you should have your aspect ratio maintained. So if I put this now as 2 and then I don't lock my aspect ratio, for some reason the aspect ratio was not locked, and then I say do this, notice although this image has changed squarely, but ideally it was supposed to be like distorted. I think the reason is because I changed already. Before I even changed that, I changed this. So what I'm gonna do is just show you properly how it's supposed to look. So if you come here and do this, so what I did was I changed this first. When I changed it, the moment I came to click here, it had already changed here as well to 2 centimeters. So what you do is before you change this, so cancel this, if you come here And so before you do this, remove the aspect ratio and then now change this to 2 centimeters. So this one now will remain as 5.8, but this one will change to 2 centimeters, and this is going to cause the image to be squashed a little bit like that. Okay, so that's what aspect ratio does. If you check it or you uncheck it, you get a distorted image, or an image which is going to be resized in proportion to the one of the dimensions that you've changed. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna just go and undo this and then place it back with the correct formatting. So lock aspect ratio and change this to 2 centimeters, and then it will be like this. Then come back here and then make sure that it is aligned to the left column margin and the top of the paragraph, starting with will the gender disparity. Okay, so that's fine. So make sure that text wraps around the image. So just come here and then make sure that the text wraps around the image. So just right click and then go to text wrap and select square. And now the image must be aligned with the left margin and the right margin. So you can drag, try to drag the image a little bit down or to the left. And when you get the green line, okay, which means now it is aligned with the left margin, then drag it a little bit up. And when you get the green line like that, now it is aligned with the top paragraph. Okay, so that is that. And then next we're going to spell check and proof the document. So again, this don't just skip the statements, because sometimes this document can contain errors. Now spell check, which means check for all the red underlined words. Okay, that means that they are violating the spelling. The blue ones means it's a grammar, and we're not so much interested in changing the grammar because sometimes, you know, passive words and passive sentences and stuff like that, sometimes the computer doesn't like that and it underlines them as blue. But the ones that you should look out for really are those that are underlined in red. If it's a local name, then you need to make sure that it is like if it's someone local name, like my surname Chikasa, it's not an English word, so basically the computer is going to underline that as red. But if I'm sure that this is supposed to be as it is, then I don't change it. Okay, so let's do first of all the spellings, and then we'll come back to make sure that some of these stuff are already are also looked at. So let's go to the document and look out for anything that is underlined in terms of red. Okay, so okay, so let's go for this one. So one is Tawaran. Okay, so Tawaran is supposed to be Tawara. It's supposed to be Tawara, the Tawara workforce, not Tawaran workforce. I don't think that's the case. So I'm going to change this to Tawara. But then I'm also looking at this one, RoboGirls or something like that. I don't know what this is. If it's appearing for the very first time, you need to compare. But the other thing is, look at this one, which is underlined in blue. You might not need to do anything because this has to do with grammar. Is there any other word? Okay, today is grammar as well. So I'm just looking at this word. So one of the ways that you can know whether this word is supposed to remain as it is, RoboGo's conference or not, is to search for this word. So just go to Control F, which is find, and then try to type this word RoboGo's. Okay, so right now it is the only word in the document, so which means I don't need to change per se this one. It could be the name of the conference, and I'll just leave it as it is. Events such as the RoboGo's. So this is a noun, so it could be like that. But Tawara, I had to change it to Tawara or something like that. Now, if there was no need for you to change any of these words, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If there was no need for you to change this Tawara to whatever, don't worry about it. The examiner will not spot that. Confusing the enemy. All right. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and let's go to the other part. So make sure that the table and the list are not split over two columns. So just come here and just come here, and so the list is okay and the table is fine as well. The table is here, I guess it's fine. And let's go for the next one. Columns aligned. Columns aligned at the top, that's okay. There are no widows and orphans. So if you go to here, widows and orphans, guys, these are sentences that can either hang on their own at the start of the page or at the end of the page. So like this could have been considered as an orphan or something like that if it was just a sentence on its own up to here. But because it has gone into the second line, so we don't have to do anything about it. But if it was just here, then we would have to push the whole paragraph where this starts. We have to push it down like this, like that, so that we avoid the widows together with the title like that. Okay. Now, guys, this is important. I'm just showing you how you can do this, because in future, when the exams start to get a little bit tough, people are going to start doing this stuff here. But I'm just showing you. Now, I'm going to undo this just to take it back the way it was and remove that. Now, another thing that you can tell if whether this this document is automatically controlling widows and orphans. If you go to paragraph here, and then you go to line and page breaks, make sure that the widow and orphan control is ticked in. Now, what this will be doing is that Word document is going to be controlling automatically how you're going to be, adjusting, or how this document is going to be adjusted in terms of widows and orphans. Okay, so I'll cancel that. It's already applied, and I'll go to let's see, come back here. There are no blank pages. There were not blank pages. Styles are consistently applied. We did apply them, and spacing is consistent between all items, and that's okay. So save the document using the same file name and format used in step 1. So which means just come here and hit on save, and then print the document. So again, you can preview this in the exam, guys. It's always important that you don't just rush to print this document to the printer, or any other document that you're printing. Just come to file and then go to print, and then go to select Microsoft PDF. If you're using a Windows computer, you can select Microsoft PDF. Okay, and this is going to allow you to print this on soft copy first of all. So print, and I'll show you what it does. So I'll just say print out one, print out one, and then I'll just say save. Okay, so once it prints to the document, then I can pick up the printout and just view it in terms of how did it come out before I even send it to the printer. Now, this is very true in terms of databases when you start to do your query, because you don't want to print something thousands of pages coming out from the query. You don't want to do that, right? So you can test a printout. So this is the way it will appear on the final paper. So I've done the printout on PDF, and it looks super cool. And if I'm comfortable, then I can now send this actually to the final printer. This is just to not to confuse the enemy. Like every time that you print something, it is super good, and not just something weird. All right, okay, guys. I think we are done with the document productions section. There you go with your 24 marks. I hope this has been very informative for you, and in the next video, guys, we're going to start looking at databases. Okay.